Howdy folks, I wanted to preface the reintroduction of this video with a shout out, with a tribute to Desertphile. Desertphile is about as unique and singular an individual as you'll ever encounter. The man is wise and independent. If you watch his videos, you'll see what I mean. He marches to his own drummer, and you can say what you like about the man, but you can never accuse him of being a sheep. So, the following video is a video produced by Desertphile, debunking or critiquing some of the evil, pernicious nonsense that Kent Hovind is bent on spreading. Kent Hovind and now his son Eric Hovind and their creationist ilk are bent on spreading to poison humanity, to dumb down and ignorancify the human race with their evil mythology. Desertphile made a valiant effort to bring some sanity to these horrible arguments, and he was rewarded for his effort with a DMCA by the CSE, Creation Science Evangelism Ministries. He was one of the victims of the infamous September 10th decimation of criticism, the infamous September 10th pissing on freedom of speech and pissing on the Constitution. And Desertphile was one of the big victims in this. 2 of his videos were removed by DMCA complaints, totally fallacious, totally false, bogus DMCA complaints, as you'll see if you stay tuned for the following video. Everything in this video is fair. There's no copyright infringement. It's fair use. He's quoting, he uses brief audio snippets of Kent Hovind, which would definitely fall under fair use, as if you were, say, writing a research paper and you quoted from a book. It's no different. This wasn't anything outside the bounds of fair use, fair critique, and necessary critique when you consider the colossal inanity and bullshit in Kent Hovind's lies. There needs to be a counter voice to that. That cannot be let out there into humanity unchallenged. You can believe it if you wish, and I'm sure most people watching this already will not believe Kent Hovind's lies, but people are free to believe it. But there needs to be a counter voice, and Desertphile was merely providing that counter voice, and did a wonderful job at it. And for his efforts, the CSE filed a false claim that they owned his video, and it was removed. So, I'm putting it back up with a tribute to Desertphile.
Recently, 2 YouTube users who apparently are fans of Reverend Kent Hovind have accused me of acting like a creationist. Specifically, they claim that I reject Reverend Hovind's lies and falsehoods out of ignorance, and that I did not view the Reverend Hovind video that I commented upon. I find that claim libelous and insulting. Not only have I viewed many of Reverend Hovind's videos on YouTube and elsewhere, I have also attended several of his sermons in person. I am intimately familiar with Reverend Hovind and his claims. I reject Reverend Hovind's claims specifically because I am familiar with them. In my opinion, I find Reverend Hovind to be a liar, a deceiver, a prevaricator, a physician of no value, a son of Satan who Jesus said is the father of lies. The evidence to support this opinion is vast, convincing, compelling, and conclusive. I also found his sermons insulting. He clearly believed his audiences are made up entirely of ignorant, uneducated, stupid, gullible morons. That is not always the case. There are many YouTube videos debunking Reverend Hovind's falsehoods and lies, but I wish to debunk part of his Big Bang falsehoods. As I have pointed out in other videos, correcting lies and falsehoods takes a great deal more time than speaking lies and falsehoods. Reverend Hovind's lies have been debunked many hundreds of times, and anyone with internet access can find the corrections to Reverend Hovind's lies easily. I suggest the Talk Origin archive at talkorigins.org as a place to start for anyone interested.
I was a high school science teacher for 15 years.
One cannot find any evidence to show that Reverend Hovind taught science, either in public school or a private school. His lectures suggest he has never done so. People are expected to know about the subjects they teach, and Reverend Hovind clearly does not.
Every religion in the world, including atheism, which is a religion.
Lacking a religion is not a religion.
Some people look at the world and say, you know, it's amazing, a Big Bang made this from nothing.
The Big Bang did not come out of nothing. The Big Bang did not create anything out of nothing. No scientist claims the Big Bang made anything out of nothing.
If the evolution theory is true, like taught in our school textbooks,
the theory of evolution is not true. It is correct, but it is not true. Science does not do truth. It does varying levels of confidence.
well, if evolution is true, there is no purpose to life, so we might as well have fun. If it feels good, do it.
Evolution is an observed phenomena of nature. It has absolutely nothing to do with how humans should live their lives.
The devil came to Eve in Genesis chapter 3.
Nowhere in Genesis, chapter 3 or otherwise, is there any devil, nor is there a Satan, nor is there a Lucifer.
The third thing he said to the woman was, hey, if you eat off that tree, ye shall be as gods.
According to Genesis, snake was only expressing the worry of the gods. The gods later expressed that worry themselves in Genesis. But Reverend Hovind is making up lies here.
It didn't start with Charlie Darwin, it started with Satan in the Garden of Eden.
Nowhere in the book of Genesis will one find Satan in the Garden of Eden. Also, evolution did not start with Charles Darwin, nor did it start with Satan. It started approximately 3 billion years ago, long before humanity existed. Also, Satan didn't exist until Christians created him about 1,700 years ago.
He wants you to think you can become like gods.
According to Genesis, it was the gods who were worried about humans becoming gods, not snakes.
In Isaiah chapter 14, Lucifer said, I will ascend into heaven, I will exalt my throne above the stars, I will sit upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north.
Reverend Hovind has confused Lucifer with Satan or the devil. The two are entirely different. Isaiah here is talking about the planet Venus, and he thought was a being of light. Lucifer, meaning the bearer of light, has absolutely nothing to do with Satan or the devil or snake.
Adolf Hitler said, if you tell a lie long enough and loud enough and often enough, the people will believe it. He said they're more likely to believe a big lie than a small one, too.
I find it extremely ironic, but not at all surprising, that Reverend Hovind would quote Adolf Hitler when discussing the big lie. Hitler was referring to the Jews using lies so colossal that those lies are believed. Reverend Hovind here has just swapped scientists with Jews, but Hovind's reason for doing so is the same as Joseph Goebbels and Adolf Hitler's. Reverend Hovind uses the big lie while at the same time denouncing it. That is how the big lie works. The Bible in Job 13 verses 4 through 12 warns people like Hovind against lying for the sake of God. I guess Reverend Hovind never got that far in his Bible reading. So there you have it. I have debunked the first 6 minutes of Reverend Hovind's lecture on what he calls creation science, the Big Bang. Of course, I did not take the time to debunk all of his lies and falsehoods, but only the first 6 minutes. If anybody is interested in the correction of his remaining lies, I suggest that they look at the excellent videos on YouTube that do so, and look at the websites on the internet that specifically debunk Reverend Hovind. Thank you for watching.